Jay Shetlin in the house.
Woo, what is up? Hey, great to be with you today. Woo, thanks for joining us. All right,
Yeah,
look,
thank
hey,
you.
we always love your energy and thanks for all that you bring to the friends and loved ones around you and even the strangers. You just bring such good energy, man. So
I
I just wanted you to take a minute, if you don't mind, and just share with our audience today who you are, just a little bit of your story.
Yeah, no, thank you for asking, Jay, and thank you for having me today. I'm so excited. I love you so much. I love your heart and the energy that you bring into the world. Hi, I'm Loca because I'm a little Loca, and I feel like you gotta be a little crazy to live the joyful life. I'm a serial entrepreneur and keynote speaker on joy, that had to kind of find my path to joy. I grew up in a bit of an entrepreneurial family, and where vacation was a change of work. And so it's like, hey, work, grind, get out there. And so I did that for a lot of my life, even as a kid. But as life kind of went on, I had an event that happened to me, which I kind of call almost like the highest joy activation. And I'll have to explain that to you because it took me a while to get there. Um, when I was 13 years old in 1997, I lost my mother. And it was one of the toughest things that I'd ever gone through. It was so surreal. She was 35 years young. I knew from that point forward, like I wanted to honor her. But a year later, I found out that the way she had passed away was from suicide. And that broke my heart because she had lived with depression for quite a few years. And my job was always to just cheer her up at all times. I was always trying to cheer her up while always trying to achieve at school. And so after she passed away, I almost like, I don't want anyone to ever feel this way again. And so what did my life become at that point? It became this one high achiever. It had to succeed in business and grades. But the other one is like this over functioning people pleaser hero that had to come and just make sure that everybody was happy. It seemed everything was great, but internally I wasn't that happy. I was almost like the sad clown, like constantly trying to make sure that everyone was cheery, telling jokes, dancing just to make people happy. But what I realized later along in life is that true joy comes when you're just being authentically who you are and you don't have to save anybody. Your existence on who you are will actually help people. I've seen it in the chiropractor world. I feel like I have a lot with chiropractors out there is that we want to help everyone. We want to heal everybody, And we'll go in there, we'll overfunction, we'll go out there. And I've seen friends of mine where they'll start have body issues because day after day they're seeing so many patients and they're like, oh, I have this injury and I have that injury. And those injuries are kind of telling us to kind of slow down. And I tell people that's where joy actually is in the slowdown. And so as I went through life and started to slow down, I started realizing, hey, you know what? Like there are things that I like to do. There are things that I want to do in life. A word that's come up for me in joy lately is spaciousness. And it's a word that a lot of people don't hear. But a lot of my life, pre the joy life, was achieve, 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 hit that high, hit that achievement, but through stress and anxiety, and then have a low because I was over functioning. But when I was doing that, imagine you driving down the highway and you're in a car going 80 miles an hour, and the car in front of you is going 80 miles an hour, and you are right tailing them the entire way through. You're constantly stressed out, wondering if they're going to break or not. The second they break, you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Spaciousness in life is when you actually are going 80 miles an hour, but you give yourself 5 to 7 car lengths and you're going. And so if they break, you're still good. Now, how that manifests in your daily life is a lot of our thoughts are just chasing the next one, right? We're overthinkers. Did I do this right? Do they like me? Did this happen? It's a constant following those thoughts. Actions, you're going from one patient to another, to another, to another, or you're going from one task to another, to another, to another. And so what I tell people, it's not how fast you're going. It's the way you're going. And the way it kind of manifested in my life daily is one day I was running from an event to another event. I ran home to have lunch, and I could feel the stress in my body
Mm.
as I was approaching the kitchen and the refrigerator, and just to eat lunch. And as soon as I came in, there's this pause that came in. I'm like, oh, I'm going not 80 miles an hour, I'm going 100 miles an hour, and I'm chasing all my tasks today. So in that moment, I just took a deep breath, just like this, sat with it for a second. You see how that felt just even in this talk?
Just even that feels good.
Yeah, yeah. I was going quick. I slowed down. That's all it is to get into that level of spaciousness. And it's that breath that we forget throughout the day that'll kind of be able to help us kind of slow down. And so once I started to slow down a bit, I started to honor myself. And I've had people and myself, I was like, well, honor myself. I can't be selfish. I can't be selfish because joy is about doing what you want to do. It's being authentically who you are. And I ran into this wonderful woman at a spiritual retreat. When I was like, I can't be selfish, she's like, you can't. You don't have a selfish bone in your body, but change that word selfish to selfist. And I'm like, oh, tell me more. So selfish is this feeling that I'm taking away from other people. Selfist is I'm not trying to take away from anybody else. I'm just trying to take care of myself. And when you take care of yourself, and a lot of people have heard this, that when you fill your own cup up, you can fill other people up. And
Right.
when you fill it up even more, you become a pitcher. And so the way I've known to take care of myself, and I tell a lot of people to take care of themselves, is there's three things that I tell people to do. Okay. Release and cleanse, rest, and expand.
Nice. Simple. Great.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I mean by that is the way it manifests in my life is that my releasing and cleansing is either journaling every single day or in a crazy way, just taking a shower. Like when I'm stressed, my wife knows you need a shower. I'm like, am I smelling I'm smelling of stress right now. I'm smelling of
No,
anxiety.
Mr.
Oh, I need to clean this off. And when I get in that shower, I just imagine that the stress is just washing off of me. The anxiety is washing off of me. I'll do this in the middle of the day, the end of the day, the beginning of the day. And so it can come in calling somebody. So journaling, calling somebody, you can meditate on it, or the way I found is shower. Rest the same way, getting a good night's sleep, that's huge. But even throughout the day, I may take a power nap or just sit and stare at the wall to let me just kind of calm down
Hmm.
and do breath work. And so one breath work that I do a lot is the 5-on-5 breath work. So if
Okay.
you're thinking, how do I rest during the day? You'll just breathe in for a count of 5 seconds and you'll exhale for a count of 5 seconds. So we'll try that right now. All right.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right. Everyone, let's just try it out right now. All
All
right.
right, team. Let's do this.
Yeah. All right. As you just kind of sit in your seat, kind of get calm, relax, smile because you're joyful beings. And take a slow breath in. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and 5. How does everybody feel?
You
You
can't help
gave,
it. Dial it
huh?
down with that. It's, you can't help it.
Yeah, that was 30 seconds. 30 seconds to give yourself micro rest throughout the day, but that rest at the end of the day is huge. And then the third one is expand. which is one of my favorites. You know, when we came on to this conversation, we were dancing, we were having fun. That's expansion, that's play. I do it by riding a bike. Other people will do it by dancing, singing, reading a book to bring out their imagination. Like, what did you enjoy as a child? And bring that into your adult life. Even if you're doing a 3 minute break on it, even if you're doing a 5 minute break on it, like what is it that really filled your cup up? If you look around, the role models of joy are children out there and they
Very
play
good. Yeah.
all day long, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do they want to do when they wake up in the morning? They want to play. Why don't they want to go to school? They want to play. What do they want to do when they come back from school? They want to play. Why won't they come to the dinner table? Play. Why won't they go to sleep? Play. And so look at what that feels like to you. What are the things that you really enjoy? Is it painting? Is it coloring? Is it singing, dancing? Is it playing with your friends? Playing catch is a great way to do it. So bringing a little bit of that into your world will do it. And so expansion is many times play. That cleansing and releasing is, it could be a shower, it could be journaling, it could just be letting your feelings out. And then rest is huge. And the one thing I tell people is if you get angry or if you get sad, um, or even stressed, these aren't things that are outside of joy. There's a joy of emotions. We have a plethora of emotions. The key is to not stay in that emotion. Once again, children. I walked in on my nephew one day and he was throwing a stage 5 tantrum, just losing his mind. My sister paid him a compliment, but everybody laughed about something else and they thought he was making fun of him. And so he was just losing it, losing it, losing. He got super angry, started stomping around, and then finally threw himself onto the ground and started pounding it and pounding it and pounding it. But eventually, that pounding started to slow down, right? He kind of started getting a little tired. And then, probably about 90 seconds to 2 minutes later, it slowed down to a point to where he gets up, wipes off his tears, smiles, hears the kids playing upstairs, and goes and plays upstairs. Now, if anyone did that in their adult life, we think they're a crazy person, right? They're like, oh my gosh, what? You just switch modes. But the physiological reaction in your body for most emotions is 90 seconds. There's a
Hmm.
chemical reaction that happens. And so, what a child does is they're somatically moving that through their body so that it releases. Their ego can't hold on to what's making them angry, so they're not angry anymore. They processed it and moved on. And so I tell people whenever you have an emotion, it's not that you disregard it. If you need to go outside and yell, if you need to dance it off, if you need to call someone to let that anger out, you let it out. But know that that reaction normally only take 90 seconds to 2 minutes.
That's so fascinating because I just read that this week in another book talking about these emotions burble up even in conflict with our spouse or our friends or a coworker. It's 90 seconds of emotional, and then we're usually back down. Well, thanks for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, the one thing to remember is you're meant to experience your emotions. You're not supposed to stay in them. And so if your emotions typically are going over the 90-second or 2 minute mark, it's your ego that's holding you in there.
Mm.
So then at that moment, you have to check in with yourself. Okay, what am I still thinking about that's making me angry? What am I thinking about that's still making me sad? And then write it down, talk to someone about it, or just honor it. You're like, hey, this is just one of these days where I'm having this. But when you get to that cleanse at the end of the night, when you get to that rest, is when we get to really release it all.
That's awesome. What a great way to train yourself how to handle. And we've talked about how we can't always handle what happens to us, but we can handle or choose how we react. And these are some great tools you've just given us on how to handle those things, how to better deal with life and find joy. I love it. Thanks.
Yeah, and you hit it. It's how you respond to it. And sometimes that response is a emotional response. And even if it's the wrong response at the moment, it's okay as long as you learn from it or have gratitude for that event that happened. My mother's death was one of the toughest things for me. But at the end of the day, and it took me 22 years to get there because I didn't have all these tools. At the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I am so grateful for this what happened in my life because it pushed me into a life of my highest joy because I had to go find it because I was
Yeah.
so lacking it. I went seeking it and seeking it and seeking it over and over again to where now I'm now teaching it. And so it's the best way I can honor her is living a life of joy.
You know what's fascinating about this, though? You're saying you went out seeking and seeking and seeking. You weren't seeking outside in things for joy. You found how to find that joy from inside out by the things you just taught us today.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Wow, that's awesome. That's beautiful. Hey, well, Loka, thank you so much for sharing these. I hope that our audience takes these tools to heart and maybe rewatches this video over and over again. Can't thank you enough for just being who you are and sharing who you are with the rest of us in the world. So thanks, man. Appreciate you.
I love you so much, Jay, and I love who you are in the world. I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, Logan.